Hey everyone, it's me, Mills. I wanted to let you know that you should stay tuned for the entire video so you can hear about an exciting giveaway announcement. You don't want to miss out.
Lauren, I am so excited to record this video with you today. I wish I had known you when I bought my first house. So let's share with everyone your expertise and your knowledge so that way they know what I wish I knew when I bought my home. So let's kick it off right there. Lauren, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your background, and what you do, please.
My name is Loren Fraute. I'm a state licensed and insured property inspector. I'm originally from Venezuela, but I grew up in Coral Springs, and I got a master's in construction management at Florida International University. And I was then when I found out about inspections, and I decided to get a license doing inspections and also a general contractor's license to learn about construction and inspections at the same time.
So today we're gonna talk about the inspections part of it, and what does it mean to get an inspection done for those that may just not know.
Well, an inspection really, people have to look at an inspection as somebody who's going to go out there and gather data and also interpret the data for you. A lot of people don't understand the language of buying a house, of what stucco is and what a life expectancy on a roof is. So to get an inspection, somebody's going to go out and gather this data. And a lot of times inspectors have to get into areas in which a homeowner would never think to get inside of an attic, on top of a roof. If there's a crawl space underneath, the inspector is going to do that for you. And he's going to give you a report with all of his findings. People who are buying a house, a condominium, any type of property, commercial property, will get an inspector to go out there to do the inspection. If you're getting insurance, you're going to need an inspector to do an inspection report and provide it to you. He's an unbiased person that is hired by you, not by anybody else.
So I know you mentioned two scenarios in which you would want to get an inspection done on your house or property in general. That's when you're buying or when you're looking to get insurance. So this following question is going to be a two-part. Number one, are there any other scenarios that someone would need to get an inspection done besides those two circumstances? And number two, why would someone need to get the inspection done? What's the value behind it for them?
Well, look, an inspector, and there's not too many things out there in the world that you can buy in which you're allowed to get a professional to give you advice and consultation. Like if you buy a car, you can't bring a mechanic to come give you a consultation. You're buying the car as is. For a house or an apartment or a property that has a lot of value to it, it's different. But if you have an existing home, I've gotten inquiries from people who, hey, I have mold issues in my house. I want to know what's going on here. I want somebody to go into the attic to check the AC ducts. If you have a leak and you're trying to figure out where the leak is coming from, that's also a reason to call an inspector. But yeah, the most common type or the most common times in which somebody's going to need an inspector is when they're buying a house, selling a house, or getting insurance for the property. Now, the value aspect of this is the following. So not all houses are created equal. You can have two houses right next to each other and they can be priced out at the same price. Both can be, let's say, $350,000 based on the neighborhood that's out there. So location, 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 everybody looks at that as one of the keys of real estate. But you also have to start figuring in what is the cost of ownership and the transfer of risk on that property. Because one property may have a roof that's only 5 years old, that has impact windows or shutters, that has an updated plumbing system, while the house next to it may have a roof that is 20 years old, about end of life expectancy, no shutters, no impact windows. And on that house, you're going to pay a significant higher amount in insurance and also cost of repairs, ownership costs of that house. You're going to have to replace the roof, which can cost you, $15,000 and more. If you have a bad AC, if you have an AC if you're buying a house with an AC that's 15 years old, well, most likely that AC is going to have to be replaced. So the inspector is going to give you an idea of what that cost of ownership to that property is going to be in the next 5 and 10 years. After 10 years, it's kind of, it all kind of averages out, but you can get a pretty good idea of what that investment is going to cost you down the line. And that's a value that a lot of people get. So they'll get an inspector, they figure that out. They can go to the seller and say, you know, I like this house, but the roof is at the end of life. I'm going to have to replace this roof. Insurance is not going to cover it. Let's negotiate on really the price of the house, because it can't sell for the same amount as your neighbor that has a newer roof and impact windows. So that's the value aspect of the inspection.
I completely agree. I definitely think that making sure that you are aware of what you're buying before buying it is, number one, such a unique attribute. Like you were saying, it's one of the few times that you can get, you know, a formal inspection done in advance. And it sounds like you do a very holistic job. You're looking at everything. You're looking in the attic, you're looking for leaks, you're looking for mold. For someone that has never gone through this process before and they don't know the cost value of something like this, how much would you say inspections normally cost?
So I tell people that they should budget for 2 inspections, because that first house may not be the house for you based on the inspection report. And the price range really varies depending on the year of construction, the number of stories, the size of the home. If the home has a crawl space underneath, buyers should budget between, for one inspection package in which the home inspector is going to give them the home inspection, the insurance inspections, which are the 4-point and wind mitigation inspections, they should budget $400 to $600. Now, for additional inspections, such as mold inspections or air quality inspections, sewer camera inspections, which are an inspection that might be recommended based on the year of construction and based on how the home is built. Those are additional inspections that also run $350 and up. So the inspection cost, really, somebody should really budget, I would say, between $400 even to $1,000. And it, you know, really make sure that they're picking a good realtor that's going to show them houses that are, you know, going to be able to insure. And, you know, and they also have to pick a good inspector that's going to, you know, look out for their best interests.
So for anyone watching this video right now, and $400 to $1,000 sounds like a lot of money. Loren and I were talking about this earlier. It will save you so much more money in the long run. So you view this cost as an investment for you and your financial future. And Loren, you did mention you want to make sure that as you're buying a house or having to need an inspection for any of those previous reasons, that you want to make sure that you pick a good inspector. What do you mean by that? How can someone know if they picked a good inspector?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but to be a home inspector is actually a licensed profession. And that happened in 2010. Prior to 2010, anybody could say they were an inspector, no matter what experience they had. You're going to be looking at systems of the house. So I'm also a general contractor, and I have knowledge of all the systems of the house. Now, there are inspectors out there who have experience by being architects or electricians, or just inspectors who have just studied all of these systems. So number one, they have to be licensed. There's going to be a license number provided on their card or on their website. It'll start with HI, which means home inspector, and then it'll have a number. The second thing is make sure that he's part of a professional association. Inspectors always have to be learning. I mean, we have new building codes that come out, new technologies that come out, and inspectors get into these associations and they learn. They have continued education. Also make sure that the inspector has experience and can give you some testimonials Your realtor most likely will have a list of inspectors that they work with, and they have worked with these inspectors before. And lastly, make sure that your inspector has an infrared camera. Infrared camera is a device that we use to check for any water infiltrations from roofs, plumbing. It gives us temperature differences, and it costs a pretty good amount to get that camera. But I would not be able to do inspections comfortably without that machine. So make sure that you're getting that as part of your inspection package that you're buying.
Loren, if someone just loves you and they trust you after this video and they want you to be their inspector, how can they contact you? What platforms are you on?
Well, I'm in LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram. I usually post stories on there, and I give you actual like live footage of what I'm finding in these houses, and I educate people who are just looking to see what's really out there in the market. I'm also on Facebook.
Perfect. Thank you, Loren, so much for taking time out of your day to answer all of our questions. I really appreciate it. And I know that anyone watching this video has seen a lot of value with it as well. So thank you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much, Amelia.
Thank you for watching the full video. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram. That's it. 2 clicks of a button and you are automatically entered into the giveaway. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, subscribe and follow, and get entered.